Pregame.com.
We have the best players in the world and arguably the world's worst defense. This is Brad Powers in the Pregame.com studios just off the Vegas Strip. It's finally here. The NBA All-Star Game. We got the East versus the West down in the Big Easy of New Orleans. Fez, you're our resident NBA expert. Who do you like in this matchup?
I'm on the East plus 4.5 or more. We don't have a line yet. We're taping late Wednesday night. It's all about blowout, bounce back for the East here. They got annihilated in last year's game, 196 to 173. And as it turns out, when a team gets blown out in the All-Star Game by 20 or more points, they have been solid against the spread and straight up, going 4-1. And those wins were by 11 points, 11.6 points, and 2 points. And the only loss in overtime. Makes a lot of sense also that the team that was embarrassed really brings the effort. Doesn't matter that they're not as talented. Clearly they're not as talented because they've lost the previous year by 20 plus points, but it's all about motivation.
Now, public perception is going to say, hey, the West has got better teams, they got better players, and they've been dominant as far as the All-Star Game long term. They've won 5 of the last 6 straight up. They've won 10 out of the last 15 straight up. Is that a concern for you here?
Not at all. And another issue is that the West is used to playing at this faster pace because their games are higher scoring. The reason it's not a concern is everything you said applied in 2008 and 2010. Both of those Eastern squads had been blown out the year before. They both won straight up.
For 1 second here, let me talk the total here because it's been outrageous as of late. In fact, last year, combined scoring, 369 points, an all-time record high in the All-Star Game. The totals line in that one was 320. The totals lines have been going up, and up the last 3 years, but we continue to see overs. How does that impact your handicap?
Yeah. Initially, you'd think, well, now, wait a minute. If we score 400 points instead of 300 points, then a 6-point favorite should win by 8. Just do the pro rata, right? But it turns out that what's much more significant is that the higher the total, the less defense is being played. It's a Harlem Globetrotters game, basically. And in a game like that, I want the team that is going to be motivated and actually play some defense.
And let's talk stats here, just how much higher scoring it's been as of late here. From 2000 to 2011, average total score in the NBA All-Star Game, 264 total points per game. Last 5 seasons, average total score, 318 total points per game. Fez, your second main handicap.
Not only does being blown out motivate you, but being on a losing streak, losing 2 or more games against the same opponent motivates you. Turns out teams in that situation are now 5-1 against the spread, covering on average by 9 points in those situations.
Now, usually when we're talking regular season, 5-1 can be just a random trend, but you think the cover margin of this trend is what's significant here?
Yeah, I love 2 aspects of it. I'm not data mining. It's a logical trend that a team on a losing streak should bring it a lot more. And the fact that not only are they 5-1, but all those covers on average by a significant margin makes it much more significant.
All right, let's make this one official, Fez.
Let's go ahead and make it official. I am on the East plus 4.5 or more. That's my pre-opener handicap. Teams blown out in All-Star games, losing by 20 or more points, are great bets, 4-1 straight up historically, and the East just lost by 23. And teams on 2 or more game losing streaks bring extra motivation. They are 5-1 against the spread, covering on average by 9 or more points. The Fez math says take the East plus 4.5 or more. More videos at pregame.com.